Vinny Cincotta, a 25-year-old artist out of the Milwaukee area, is on the verge of fulfilling his dreams of becoming an artist.
Take a look at satellites until the time is right. We don't rush in, 'cause I'm too fed to write.
The artist was asked why he chose music.
I've been around music pretty much ever since I can remember. I started playing the piano when I was 5 or 6 years old. My mom made us get lessons, and at the time we didn't really want to do it, but now I'm super grateful that she made us, start that early, because I have a great appreciation for music and for the structure of music and music theory. So I think getting a good base early on definitely heavily influenced me into wanting to pursue it more. And then just kind of as I grew up, I would always, listen to songs and try and put my own spin on them, or sing along, or try and, harmonize with what was being sung. So I think naturally I was just always drawn to music for one reason or another. And then once it started becoming really easy to make your own music with GarageBand and Logic and, the pirated version of Fruity Loops, which nobody uses, of course, it was just something that I knew I had to do.
We then go on to ask Vinny's parents how he was as a kid and why he chose music.
As a young child, he was good. I would say a little bit of a challenge. He liked a lot of attention and always wanted to know what we were doing and why we were doing it. Especially we were trying to take a video of him. He didn't want to keep doing the cute thing he was doing. He wanted to see himself. So that was kind of one of the big things. But he was, I'd say, curious, and he got very attached to one thing at a time. So like at one point he was really into Legos. And so he would carry Legos around with him 24/7, sleep with them. Then he got really into superheroes. So he'd carry a figurine around with him. Then he was super into cars. And then he'd carry a car around with him. Yeah, so he got very kind of like singularly focused, and what he loved completely. And he was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Vinny was involved in music due to his mom getting him involved with playing the piano. And I don't remember if he played any other instruments as a kid other than the piano, but he became very good.
Vinny tells us how he stays motivated.
I think the biggest motivating factor for me making music was just pushing myself to create something better each time. That's just kind of the person I've always been. I was big into athletics when I was growing up, and I played in college and all those things, and I always just wanted to excel, not really for anybody else, but just for myself. My friends would always tell me that I should make music too, so that was another driving factor. We'd always, freestyle in the car just like every other friend group does, and it was always really fun for me. So I've just always been drawn to it, and that coupled with the ease of making music now is what really pushed me into it, and is why I'm still making it today, all these years later.
Vinny also gives us a little information on how he promotes his music.
The main things that I do, obviously, is post on all my social media platforms and avenues, so Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok, etc. And TikTok's a big one these days. It's definitely one of the bigger, platforms for upcoming artists to use, because pretty much anything can go viral on there these days. So it's something that you want to use, especially because you're able to share kind of a different type of content with people than you would, say, on Facebook or Snap or Instagram even. You can kind of be yourself more and really showcase a different side of you there. So I definitely use that a lot. The best method is still the tried and true old method with word of mouth. So just getting out there and sharing it with your friends and sharing it with their friends and so on is definitely still the best way to do it, but there's a ton of different ways to promote yourself these days.
Vinny gives us a little message for all the new artists that also want to fulfill their dreams.
Do not be afraid to fail hundreds of times, because that's the only way that you'll get better. And this is one of the most important things, two things here, that I've been told by one of my mentors is, one, that there is no destination. So I think when we all start out, especially in something like this, you think of like, I'm going to have millions of streams and I'm going to have 10,000 fans at my concert and then I'll feel like I made it. But there isn't a destination. There's always going to be something that you could do more, and there's always going to be a higher level that you could achieve. So I think understanding that there's no real destination in this is extremely important, because then no matter what level you're at, you can kind of just enjoy it, do the best you can while you're at it, and then know that as it keeps going, as long as you're rooted in happiness with what you already have, the next steps that you hit and the next levels that you attain will just be icing on the cake.
Vinny gives us information on what his future plans are.
For the future, releasing a ton of music. Obviously, I'm not where I want to be or where I know I will be, but just a bunch of things I have planned for the future. You know, I'm a guy that likes to release a ton of songs. I'm planning on releasing a song every other week for the foreseeable future, and what I also want to do is definitely do more music videos, more, behind the scenes and pulling the curtains type things like this. Networking and becoming a more well-rounded artist is the plan.